Hi, Central Denison. This is Mrs. Corna. This week I'm thinking about dinosaurs and I'm making Dinosaur Hunters brownies. Triceratops by Amy Allison. Oh, this book has a table of contents. What were dinosaurs? Dinosaurs were reptiles that lived on Earth for more than 160 million years before they became extinct. There were many different types of dinosaurs. They lived both on land and in water, and some could even fly. When were dinosaurs alive? Dinosaurs first lived around 230 million years ago during a period of time called the Mesozoic era. The last dinosaurs became extinct around 65 million years ago. All land on Earth was together in one piece during the time of the dinosaurs. Over time, it has slowly split up into different continents. When all the land on Earth was together in one piece, it was called Pangea. Triceratops. Name, Triceratops. Length, 30 feet. Weight, 10 tons. Food, herbivore. When it lived, around 65 million years ago. How it moved, walked on 4 legs. Triceratops was a large dinosaur. The name Triceratops means 3-horned face. Triceratops became extinct around 65 million years ago. It lived at the same time as Tyrannosaurus rex. What did Triceratops look like? Triceratops was around 30 feet long and up to 10 feet tall. It had a very large head with a bony frill around it. Triceratops was as heavy as 3 cars. The frill could reach 6 feet in width. Triceratops had 3 horns on its head. It used these to protect itself against other dinosaurs, such as Tyrannosaurus rex. Where did Triceratops live? Triceratops lived on land in an area that is now North America. It lived in areas with plenty of vegetation. Some scientists believe Triceratops lived in herds. They believe this because many Triceratops fossils have been found together. These dinosaurs might have also traveled together to look for food. What did Triceratops eat? Triceratops was an herbivore. Its diet was made up of plants such as ferns and conifers. Its beak-like mouth was useful for grasping plants. Triceratops was very strong, and many scientists believe that it may have used its 3 horns to push over large plants. Was Triceratops the toughest dinosaur? Triceratops was one of the toughest dinosaurs to ever live. It had many ways of protecting itself, including its tough skin and strong, sharp horns. Stegosaurus was another tough dinosaur. It had armored plates along its back and a spiked tail. Ankylosaurus looked similar to an armadillo, except it had spikes down each side of its body. How do we know? We know so much about dinosaurs thanks to the scientists called paleontologists who study them. They dig up fossils of dinosaurs to find out more about them. Scientists put together the bones they find to attempt to make the full skeletons of dinosaurs. From these skeletons, scientists can often figure out the size of a dinosaur. They can also find out information about what it ate from its fossilized food and waste. Scientists even find fossilized eggs and footprints belonging to dinosaurs. Facts about Triceratops. A Triceratops fossil was found with bite marks that match those of a Tyrannosaurus rex. Triceratops had one of the largest skulls of any known dinosaur. It has strong legs to support its heavy body. Here's the bony frill, an 8-foot-long skull, 2 long horns above the eyes, a nose horn, and a beak-like mouth, and it's 30 feet long. You could draw your own dinosaur. Think about these questions. Number 1, how does it move? Number 2, does it live on land or in water? Number 3, what does it eat? Number 4, what color is it? Number 5, how big is it? This book has a glossary to tell you what those orangish colored words mean. And it has an index, so you could look for these words on the pages that are listed after the words on this page. And that's the end of our story. Here are the ingredients you'll need to make Dinosaur Hunter's Brownies. You'll need 2 boxes of brownie mix. You'll need butter, eggs, and buttermilk. If you don't have buttermilk, you can use a substitute. I like to use buttermilk powder and regular milk. You'll also need vanilla. For the frosting, you'll need some more milk. You'll need unsweetened cocoa powder and powdered sugar. Here are the tools you'll need to make Dinosaur Hunter's Brownies. You'll need a big mixing bowl. You'll also need a teaspoon and a tablespoon for measuring. You'll need a measuring cup for your dry ingredients, and if you have a glass measuring cup for liquids, that works great. You'll need a wooden spoon for stirring, and you'll need a spatula. You'll also need a wire whisk. You'll need a 9x13 pan that you'll line with parchment paper, and you'll also need some cooking spray. For making the frosting, you'll need a medium-sized pan, and at the end, when you cut your brownies, you'll need a large cutting board and a knife. The knife should be used by an adult. To make Dinosaur Hunter's Brownies, you're going to start with 2 boxes of brownie mix. Empty the brownie mix into a large bowl. Add 12 tablespoons of melted butter. That's 1 stick and another half stick. Add 2 tablespoons of vanilla. Then add 1/2 cup of buttermilk. If you don't have buttermilk, you can use 1/2 cup of milk and 2 tablespoons of powdered buttermilk. Add 2 eggs. Use a wooden spoon to mix everything until it's combined. You don't want to overmix, so don't use a mixer. Prepare your pan by spraying the bottom with a little bit of non-stick cooking spray, then place in the parchment paper. That'll hold the parchment paper in place. Then do a light spray over the parchment paper. Add the brownie batter to the 9x13 pan. Spread the batter to the edges of the pan and place it in an oven preheated to 350 degrees. Let's make the chocolate frosting for our Dinosaur Hunters brownies. This is something an adult should definitely do. First, you're going to melt 8 tablespoons of butter, that's 1 stick of butter, in a medium-sized pan over medium heat. When the butter's melted, add 1/3 of a cup of milk and add 2 tablespoons of unsweetened cocoa powder. Stir with a wire whisk, and we want to stir and cook this over medium to medium-low heat until it begins to boil. When the mixture begins to boil, remove it from the heat and add 3 cups of powdered sugar. 1, 2, and stir to combine. So you've removed the pan from the heat, and now we're stirring it until it's nice and smooth. Let this cool slightly before pouring it over the cooled brownies. After the brownies have cooled for about 20 minutes, take the chocolate frosting and pour it from the pan onto the top of the brownies. The frosting will be very thin and runny. Spread the frosting with a spatula or with a knife. Cover the brownie pan with tin foil or with the pan cover and place it in the refrigerator. When your Dinosaur Hunters brownies are cooled, take them out of the refrigerator and take a knife and slide it around the edges of the brownies to loosen them from the side of the pan. Then tip the brownies out onto a cutting board. Flip the brownies over, and you're ready to cut them. Now you might want to cut them in half and wrap some of them to save for later. You could store the wrapped brownies in the refrigerator or the freezer. Have an adult take a large knife and cut the brownies into squares. These brownies are rich and gooey and sweet, so you don't want to cut them too big, or when you eat them, you'll get a stomach ache. If you liked Triceratops, here's a couple other books that you might like. Apatosaurus or Dinosaur Rocket. We have a nonfiction book and a fiction book for you to choose from. Ooh, look, some yummy Dinosaur Hunter brownies.
Hi. So, if you liked the book Triceratops that Mrs. Corna just read, you might also like this book about velociraptors. This is another nonfiction book about one of my favorite dinosaurs. But maybe you're more in the fiction mood and you like to imagine dinosaurs playing basketball. Well, here's one for you also. This is the plant eaters versus the meat eaters. Who do you think's gonna win that one, huh? Happy reading. I'm gonna enjoy some of these dinosaur brownies. I've been waiting all day for this. You guys gotta try these.
Hi, boys and girls. It's Mrs. Wright here, back in my room. It's a little lonely here without you, but I am so excited that Mrs. Corna did a dinosaur book because I love dinosaurs. I love Jurassic Park and all the adventures. She just read you this book, Triceratops. I hope you loved it. She also gave you a recipe, which I get to try in a couple seconds. If you liked this book, I'm sure you are going to love this nonfiction book called Plated Dinosaurs. Plated? Maybe like this guy? Probably. You'll have to take a sneak peek in this book to find out. It's going to be, let me get a picture here for you. It's going to be in the library. Here's another nonfiction book. It doesn't look like a nonfiction book from the cover, but it is. Super fun pictures, but still real facts. Some of them are a little gross, like looking in animals' stomachs. Speaking of stomachs, guess what I get to do? I get to taste one of these. One bite without a fight. Trust me, I'm not fighting it at all. Man, you know when they say melts in your mouth? Melted, gone. I don't even think I'm going to share it with my dinosaurs. I don't even think I'm going to give her the plate back. All right, I want you to try these at home. Go look at the recipe for yourself. Have a great day.